Well, it didn't take long. A couple of days after President Biden has put forth a committee to study looking into this expanding the United States Supreme Court, the progressive Democrats today got in front of the Supreme Court and laid out their bill, the Judiciary Act of 2021, to do just that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Well, it didn't take long, but a little while ago, about 11:35 today, 4 members of Congress got in front of the Supreme Court and laid out their plan on why the court numbers should be expanded. Before I dive into this, I want to say, look, the country in the last couple of weeks has been getting more violent again. Riot season is upon us, and I want you guys and gals to do everything you can to stay safe. That includes obviously training with a firearm and carrying that firearm. But what happens if you happen to need to employ that firearm to save yourself or others? Literally, things are popping off around the country left and right. You could be out and about and take a turn and be confronted with craziness. That's why I use the USCCA for my family. Not only do they have awesome training and education, but you get self-defense liability insurance. USCCA.com/GNG will get you right and ready. God forbid something happens where you have to make that life-altering decision. You'll have an attorney and a legal team ready to help with the aftermath. So check them out down below, USCCA.com/GNG. And let's talk about this bill. Now, the Judiciary Act of 2021, can they pack the court? Yes, they can. It has to be done through Congress. I've done videos on this before, and I'll link the most recent one I did explaining why they can do it, how they've done it in the past. They've had fluctuating numbers. We currently have had 9 justices for 125 or 26 years. But if you didn't watch today's little fiasco, they're very upset that Donald Trump put 3 justices on the court. And I'm going to read a couple notes here. There were some things that Ed Markey, who's a senator from Massachusetts, said with his cohorts. He was up there with Jerry Nadler, Hank Johnson, and Mondaire Jones. And if you're not aware, we have a perceived 6-3 conservative majority on the court right now. Now, however, that's not really the case because the Chief Justice, John Roberts, typically always votes liberal with the liberal judges. So it's more of a 5-4, but they don't like that. They being the progressive leftists, the anti-gunners, believe me, are huge behind this as well. But they're very upset that Trump got to put on 3, and that in theory, should they ever do their job and take up major cases, then their progressive agenda would be stifled. Also, I want to say, when is the last time the United States Supreme Court has taken up an earth-shattering case? When have they made a decision that has made people go, oh my God, this changes everything? They don't. They really don't. They're saying, this group said that the court is politicized. Yeah, maybe towards the Democrat side, I would say over the last X amount of years. But this new court really hasn't made any dents in some of the wrongs. But here we are again. So what this bill wants to do, and I'll have a link to the bill down below, they want to add 4 more justices that Biden would appoint, and that would put that at 13 justices on the court, and in theory give them a 7-6 majority for the Democrats. Now, some of the comments that these guys were making was that the U.S. Supreme Court is broken and it's out of balance. Well, yeah, it's always out of balance. There's an odd number of justices for a reason, to be the tiebreaker, and often it depends on how they're appointed throughout their careers. Just because you are the president doesn't mean the court automatically changes and you now are in favor. It's not how it works. That's not what the court is there for. They're there, and it actually brings me to another comment that these guys made. They said that doing this, adding more justices, would allow the Supreme Court to reflect the values of the majority of the people that they serve. And that is a bold barefaced lie and gives you a look into the window of what they're planning. The United States Supreme Court doesn't serve the majority. They make decisions based on the U.S. Constitution. It doesn't matter if a majority of the country no longer likes part of the Constitution. Too freaking bad. There are ways to amend the document if you want to do that, but that's a really hard thing to do. So they'd rather whine and complain about it to try to force things, which is where we've been for like the last year or 2 years. So that's a big thing that a lot of people don't know. A lot of these younger generation that don't get civics classes anymore or stuff like that. The United States Supreme Court does not serve the party in power. That's not the way it goes. And to further prove that it's not a Republican majority, they didn't take up any of President Donald Trump's issues with the election. Not one. So if they were a politicized group like they're claiming today, then they would have taken up that case, all those cases for Donald Trump, because he appointed 3 of those justices. And you would think that they would have done something, and they didn't. They're not a politicized group. In fact, I mean, do they work as much as they should? I say no. But this goes against everything they're saying. And believe me, I am not sticking up for the United States Supreme Court. Because I think they should have shut down and struck down a lot of bills and laws and practices already. Like, there's a little thing that says shall not be infringed. But let's continue. Another thing that was said today that caused me to say, well, yeah, was they claim that our communities of color, women, and the immigrant community are at risk with this current setup. To which I would say, well, I could see the illegal immigrant community is at risk because they're here illegally and they're breaking the law coming over illegally. So yeah, they should be at risk of going and being deported and coming through the right way. But, you know, that's the Democrat voting base, so they want to take care of that. I just wanted to let everybody know that, you know, the bill is out there, and there's another issue here in the House that they're going to have. It's just that the Democrat Party, especially the extreme left side of it, are piss poor losers. And I will say this, think about this. Every single time the Democrat Party is in power, perceived power, they have the majority, they follow through on all of their agenda items, whether it's gun control or, you know, violating election laws or whatever it is. They always follow through and at least start the ball rolling. When the Republicans are in perceived power, have the majority of power in D.C., they squirrel away, they quiver and cower, and they never push through any of the major talking points that got them elected. So just some food for thought. Please watch that video that I did a couple months ago. I'll link it again. It'll be floating above. I'll have it in the description and in the pinned comment. That gives you the historical background of how they can amend these numbers and what they've done in the past. Guys, they can do it. It can be done. However, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, just recently said she has no plans to bring this bill to the floor. So now they already have a problem getting this pushed. So now it's just more of a propaganda push, because she said that last night. So these 4 bobos knew this before they came to the podium. They have a serious problem where Pelosi said, I have no plans to bring this to the floor. But what all of the Democrats that I've been looking into, including Pelosi, they are in favor of this committee that President Biden has formed a couple days ago. I'll have that link above too. Watch that video if you're not aware of it. But just where there's smoke, there's fires, guys and gal. And if you're a member of the Second Amendment community, you're saying, well, why would we care about this anyway? The Supreme Court doesn't do anything to help us. Exactly. And that's one of the reasons they're trying to do this. We have a lot of cases that are knocking on heaven's door, for a lack of a better term. Great song. There's a lot of cases that are knocking on the Supreme Court door that are, if stricken down, would destroy the anti-gun narrative and agenda and a lot of the gun control nationwide. Things like the assault weapon ban, things like magazine bans, things like licensing schemes, things like, you really want to have your Second Amendment? Well, you need a damn good cause on why we should allow you the right to do that. Those bills, those cases are all there now. They're all ready. They're all in the upper levels of the appellate system, and they're ready to go to the Supreme Court. In fact, one of the licensing ones is in front of them right now. We're waiting to see if they're going to take it up or not, but That's there. And if they get the chance to put in 4 Biden-appointed judges, we'll never win a Second Amendment case, no matter what the makeup of the court is, because they'll have 13. So just some food for thought, and all the stuff that they're going with now, with the assault weapon ban he wants, and the magazine ban, and the pistol brace issue, and the ghost gun debacle, and red flag. If they all go to the Supreme Court, and it's 7 to perceived 6, it'll really be 8 to 5 on the court. Democrat leaning to Republican leaning. This country's in frickin' trouble. So, get to know your friends and neighbors. Get to know the communities you're involved in. Because you never know when you're going to need those communities. All right? So, watch those 2 videos, please. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please share this with everybody you know. This is, well, it's going to have an issue getting forward in the House. The Senate is the one we need to watch. And I've already got calls out. We'll see what happens there. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. If you're into Second Amendment news, please consider subscribing to this channel. We're still below half of the people who watch the videos are actually members of the channel and subscribe. So come on over, everybody. Please join this growing freedom family. We're all going to need each other sooner or later. And I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.